All right, it's known as the most liberal circuit court in the country, currently ruling on President Trump's travel order, as you know. But now there are plans to break up the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Republican lawmakers from Arizona are leading the charge, saying the circuit is the most overburdened, overturned in the country. Joining us now, Arizona Senator Jeff Flake. Senator, we're all watching this play out. You're fed up and you're taking action. Why now?
Well, there has been legislation ever since 1941 to split the Ninth Circuit. It's far too big. It represents 20% of the population of the country. 40% of the land mass is in that jurisdiction. And it's just too big. We have a bedrock principle of swift access to justice. And if you live in Arizona or anywhere in the Ninth Circuit, you just don't have it. 15 months it takes for the average decision to be handed down. And that's far too long.
So how do you propose breaking it up, and what are you going to need in terms of legislation?
Well, we've got legislation that we just introduced to create a 12th Circuit. Like I said, this has been long in coming and has been introduced a lot. The problem is the judges in the Ninth Circuit, particularly the liberal judges, don't want to give up any of their jurisdiction. So a 12th Circuit would include Arizona and Idaho and the state of Washington. The new circuit would be located in the state of Washington and Alaska as well, and it would be far more manageable for the court.
All right, we'll see what happens with this decision. Do you have a sense from what you know, from what you've been able to hear, where this decision is going to go in the Ninth District as it goes to Donald Trump's temporary ban?
I don't have any. I frankly do think that it will be upheld ultimately, whether it's the Ninth Circuit or the U.S. Supreme Court. I do believe it was lawful. There's a difference between it being lawful and it being a good idea. I think people can differ on that, but I do think that it's lawful.
Do you differ on that?
Yeah, I do. I do think that we ought to have vetting, increased vetting, certainly, but I do differ on the
90-day
the
pause?
ban as it was rolled out. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Senator, let's move on. Senator Warren, essentially the Democrats for 2 days are holding their breath until they get their own way, and they're not. Betsy DeVos, they kept the Senate open all night 2 nights ago, and last night they kept it open because of Senator Sessions. Some were speaking out against him. Senator Elizabeth Warren came out and got personal with Senator Sessions, and she was told to sit down. She was essentially silenced by Mitch McConnell. Did he do the right thing?
Well, we have rules of decorum in the Senate, just like in the House of Representatives. Rule 19, it's been in effect for more than 100 years. It started, I think it was needed because in 1908 there was a fist fight on the Senate floor. So you don't impugn another member's character, and I think it's a good rule. We've seen it employed in the House a number of times. One time when I was speaking in the House on lifting the Cuba travel ban, a Republican member stood up and said, the member just wants to lift the travel ban so he can drink mojitos on the beach. And of course, I'm Mormon. I don't drink mojitos. Somebody stood up and said those words ought to be taken down, and they were. So we've had these rules, and they're employed, and they should be. We ought to have decorum on the Senate floor.
Wow. Senator Flake, we'll see where this goes. You guys just seem to be talking at each other instead of to each other, and it's been nonstop. Senator Jeff Flake, thanks so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.